what's up everyone? So today's video, we're gonna talk about our fucking relationship. And people are asking, people are confused, people are saying a lot of shit that's fucking some crazy shit, so I'm just gonna set the record straight. A lot of people don't realize that me and Chanel have history, that we were together for 2.5 years. So it's a pretty long time. We had an incredible relationship, and at least I think it was an incredible relationship. I don't know what the fuck she thinks. and so, you know, in that time, we probably did what a normal couple would do in a 20-year span in 2.5 years. Like, there was just so much going on. We did so much traveling, so much shit, so many vacations. I mean, it was just like, I can't even believe we accomplished what we did and did what we did in 2.5 years. It was just fucking madness. So the big question obviously is, well, if it was so fucking great and you guys were together 2.5 years, why the fuck didn't you stay together, right? That's the obvious question. I know everyone's thinking and asking, and you know, at this point, and that's what we're gonna explain. Why don't you start?
Oh,
what do you have to say?
So I had never been a part of the bodybuilding lifestyle community before I met Rich. I met Rich at a fitness expo, of all things. It was the first time I'd ever been to a fitness expo. And as I walked past him, I was like, holy shit, this guy's a unicorn. So I realized that that's kind of a silly thing to say, but people... Not
a sexy beast, not, you know, just I'm a fucking unicorn.
It's the way I think of it, as something you've always heard of but never actually seen.
Right.
And there he was. So a week or so later, we went on a date. It was like 12 or 14 hours long. We went to lunch, dinner, talked, movie, another date the following night. We just wanted to spend as much time with each other as possible. And that's the way our relationship was. We were with each other 24/7, and I was not used to that. And I was not used to working 14 to 16-hour days. I was used to being a bartender and studying to get a personal training certification, having a regular like 9-to-5 job, and that's what anybody else I'd ever dated had. So with dating Rich, he was always extremely busy. He was with Mutant. He also had his clothing line One Day You May. He wanted to further branch that out. So Jane and I helped him to get that better dialed in. And then we started Love It, Kill It and 5%. And it just took off from there. And this was in a span of less than 2 years that all of that happened. So it was just really crazy and overwhelming, and we were traveling together, traveling separately, and there was 3 pit bulls to take care of, and there was just so much pressure put on everything that I just quite honestly couldn't handle it. It was too much for me at the time.
It was too much for everyone. It was just so much shit going on, and you know, we were working 16-hour days, filming videos, editing videos, you know, and then coming up with ideas and traveling and answering questions. It was just so much shit going on that I think we were both so overwhelmed, and you know, and trying to keep the relationship, you know, good. You know, you got to put time in. You got to put time in anything if you want to be successful, no matter what it is. You know, whether it be a relationship, whether it be a job, whether it be your body, whatever it is, you got to put the time in. The more you put into it, the more you get out in anything. So, you know, if you don't have, you have to be, you know, everything has to be equal, right? Evenly distributed, and for everything to work. And at that point in time, you know, business was number one. You know, that's what was number one, is business. The business comes first. And, you know, all in all, that's going to have the relationships going to suffer somewhat, right? You know, and do I regret, you know, my ways of thinking back then? Absolutely not, because for me, the business was the most important thing for me. And, you know, although I love Chanel and we had a great relationship, it was like the business had to come first, you know, the chance of a lifetime. And, you know, it was going, you know, everything was going great, and I just had to keep, you know, 16, 17, 18-hour days. She was there, right there with me, but, you know, there was times when, you know, it was a lot of work and not as much play, and then when there was play, there was just fucking too much play. So it was just a crazy, you know, non-stop 2.5 years. But, you know, us being apart, you know, I think really, you know, helped us both tremendously, like in every way possible. Yeah, so I think that was a necessary thing that needed to happen, for sure. You know, and you know, so it made us look back and realize a lot of things, and changed us in many ways. And you know, and now we're just making the best of everything. You know, we don't have to work like we did back then. We had to work. I mean, it was necessary, it was mandatory to put in those hours to get that business going and keep it going, you know, and keep it climbing. It was mandatory. And now it's not mandatory. You know, I can basically do whatever the fuck I want. You know, I mean, it's at a point where I can put in what I want to put in, but we both want to continue putting a lot in. So it's a different situation. I think it's more that then it had to be done, and now it's, hey, do you want to shoot a video? Nah, let's stay in bed for an extra couple hours. Okay, great. You know, it's not mandatory. You want to shoot a video? Yeah, let's shoot a video. Okay, you know, so it's just up to us, whatever we want to do. So it makes it a lot different, I think.
Yeah, more time to focus on us and making the relationship even stronger than it was before. We have even more time to just have more quality time together.
Right. Oh, and let's talk about how we, how this whole thing came about. Like, how did this situation get rekindled? And you know, it's you know, certain things happen for a reason. You know, I don't know if you guys believe in that shit. I don't really believe in it, but this shit happened in this example.
It was like total serendipity. Just
yeah. So I mean, I got out of a relationship, as you guys know, and you know, we had been apart for 3 to 4 weeks, living together. You know, just because, you know, there's things that have to happen for, you know, to completely, you know, whatever. So it was uncomfortableness, and then I would say probably this is literally like 3 days. Just telling you guys straight up what the fuck happened. 3 days after. You know, my last situation, you know, left, and it was completely, we were apart, you know, on our way to Florida, whatever, that I decided to go to North Hollywood. And, you know, I went, I think it was like maybe 7:30, 8 a.m. And I never fucking go to the gym that early. Never. I wake up and I fucking work. I eat my breakfast. I, you know, whatever I need to do. And then I go like usually somewhere between 3 and 10 p.m. I mean, that's usually what I do. And for whatever fucking reason, I can't even tell you what, I got up and I just felt like going to the gym. So I got up, took a shower, got ready, went to the gym, and as soon as I walked in, Francesca, what's up? So Francesca runs up to me, Rich, oh my God, you're not gonna believe this. Chanel's here. And I'm like, Chanel's here? What do you mean here? I thought she meant like in town. She's like, no, she's in the gym. I'm like, she's in the gym? This is kind of fucking awkward, you know? Because a lot of people don't realize, but you know, when we separated, we never talked. We didn't, you know, ran into each other accidentally. Like, we had not spoken since the last time, you know, we went our separate ways. So it's a kind of a weird feeling, like, oh shit, you know, it's like, so we saw each other, you know, we went up and started talking, and she's like, oh my God, how are you? You know, what's new, you know, and how's your marriage? So she knew I got married, so, you know, I knew a little bit about her. She loved me, but not much. And I said, oh, yeah, there's no marriage. I'm like, yeah, it's over. And she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, no, it's fucking great. It's a good situation, you know. Throw me a party, take me to dinner, and let's celebrate, you know. Like, it's not, don't worry, everything great. And so, you know, she was like, oh, I'm so sorry, and this and that. And then, you know, when she left, she said goodbye. If you want to talk, text me, give me a call, whatever. I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, you know. So then we started texting, you know, and then, you know, you asked me if I needed a camera girl, if I needed someone to help me with the videos, because that's what she did when we were together, you know. And, you know, that's what she does, you know. She shoots videos, and, you know, she's a photographer and she knows her shit. So she was, you know, that was a, you know, a good situation, because she really knew how to edit and do shit and help me on that end. So I was like, well, fuck yeah, I'm not gonna, yeah, I definitely help shooting videos. I'm like fucked right now. I can't shoot my own videos. Good fucking morning, everyone. It's not gonna work. So we started shooting videos together, hanging out, you know, on a friendly basis, you know, and, you know, talking about old times and this and that. And I'd say, you know, over a couple weeks time, you know, next thing you know, yeah, we're back together. Hello, yeah, this is sitting next to me. I'm only gonna wait so long. So, but I tried my hardest, you know, to do the right thing, and, you know, not, you know, whatever, you know, but it's kind of impossible, but I tried. So yeah, that's basically what happened. And, you know, we were back together, but we didn't tell anyone, right? We kept it to ourselves.
We kept it pretty quiet, incognito, even disguised at some point.
Yeah, some crazy shit, you know, like, you know, my opinion is that, you know, when two people go their separate ways, and it's 100% sure, both people are 100% yes, this is fucking over. The other person, I agree, this is fucking over. Goodbye. Good luck with life. When that shit happens, you're single. There's no fucking rule that you have to fucking wait a certain amount of time, or, oh, that's not, you do whatever the fuck you want. You can pick up the phone right there and say, hey, what you doing? That's the way it is, reality. And now, being in the limelight, social media and shit, I didn't want to look like that person that's just fucking going from one to the other, and I didn't. I mean, a good 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks went by before I even saw her, and then a good another 2 weeks went by before we actually, started being a little more than friends. Oh, good, 5-6 weeks? Yeah. Which, fuck, I can't believe I waited that long. But, but as far as social media was concerned, I didn't want to put it out there. I know, what the fuck. So we didn't put her out on social media. She saw I had a new camera girl and, kind of joked around and, little hints, this and that, but I didn't just want to fucking throw her out there. And, even though the other person, was already with someone else and, so it really wouldn't have mattered if I did, but I was just trying to do the right thing. So I waited until the annulment, was final. And once the annulment was final and, the piece of paper said, you are not fucking married, you're no longer legally married, then I was like, all right, now's the time. So then we put that shit out there. So that was the story. But at the Olympia, she was at the, go ahead. Tell the story.
Wait, it's the part with the phone thing?
No, just you're at the Olympia, and the thing is that I fucking, obviously I need a camera person at the Olympia.
So you needed a camera person at the Olympia, and it was still kind of a touch and go situation. We were both trying to be respectful of his situation, so I was in disguise. And most people had no idea. Even people that had known me previously were like, oh my God, it's so nice to meet you. What's your name? I had no idea who I was. And then took a closer look and were like, what are you doing here? So it was a little crazy. And the funniest thing was a person who's followed both of us for the last probably 4 or 5 years was talking to Rich and said, oh yeah, this girl, this is the reason that I started following you. I saw this picture of the two of you and I had to follow. So he's laughing and he calls me over and tells the guy, yeah, you got to show her this picture and tell her the story. So the guy tells me the story, then shows me a picture. It's a picture of Rich and I from like 4 years ago standing in front of the Bentley, like going out to dinner. So the guy had no idea it was me and just recently said something on my social media and was like, yeah, I showed this girl at the Olympia a picture of you. I was like, yes, that was me. He's like, oh my God, I had no idea. So we kind of kept it quiet for a while. And then of course with us driving here, by the time we reached, where were we? Texas or New Mexico? We were somewhere and I finally let the cat out of the bag and stuff.
Well, it's just so fucking stupid because if I had brought you to the Olympia, people will be like, oh my God, you already moved on. No, it's like, I know how things work. So, we put her in disguise at Olympia and we're going to put a picture up to show. So all the people will be like, oh fuck, I remember her. Oh shit. So we done? That's it? We covered everything?
I hope we covered everything because I would love to never have to talk about this again.
Well, it was just because I get fucking shit on my Instagram every day.
I do too.
We're not really now, but in the before people are just like their thinking was just like so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So it's like just put that, that's why I got to put shit out there because.
Well, and they're confused. They think that I'm this one or that one because we're all blonde or whatever, and I'm like, we're all different in our own way.
Well, it's like, yeah, I got a new blonde. It's like, no, I don't have a new blonde. Like I have more
history.
The
old blonde?
Yeah. Well, I mean the old new, but I'm just saying that that it's not just another girl I met and whatever. There's history and there's feelings that were already there and we never really were finished with the relationship when we broke up. It was a totally different situation, altogether. There wasn't really a reason that we didn't stay together. It was just so chaotic and so much shit going on. I think it was just too much for everybody. And and I think it was just overwhelming, but there wasn't like a reason, like, oh my God, you did this to me, or I can't believe you did that, or there was no one did anything to anyone. That's the craziness. So I think having that in your head, there was never any anger or upset with each other,
why we never talked shit about each other in the last
year
and a half. We had nothing bad to say about each other, just
it was all
trying
good.
to move on with our lives. Yeah. And we ended up falling back together anyway because we're supposed to. So.
Yeah, right. So I think that's it, right?
I hope so.
Right.